everyone, and welcome back to Rebooked, the show where we talk about the big meaty men and women slapping me in the middle of the ring and the stories they tell in the process, brother. I'm, of course, GB. We're joined by Scan, and we, of course, have Matt. We got, I should actually do the solo. Let me retry that again. We got Scan Blam. Hit him with the solo. We got Matt. Hit him with the solo. And then me, the guy who forgot how to produce the podcast. Hello, everyone. Yes, before we begin, obviously, a lot of crap has happened in our country, if you are an American watching the show. So, I'm not really going to draw much attention to it, but I did want to, be like, hey, we're going to talk about wrestling and we're going to try and keep things light and fun. But obviously, we know that stuff's happened. And we want to try and, at the very least, bring some brightness to folks' day. So, thank you guys for joining me. And of course, you're probably noticing, that Jake isn't with us. He's away. He'll be back. Was it February 3rd? I think. Did he say February 3rd?
Yes, which is next week.
Next week. Yeah, he'll be back next week. We're excited to have Jake back. I'm sure he has a lot to say, a lot of opinions. We should probably just give Jake a segment, like a little soapbox segment to kind of just like talk about his thoughts. Let me know if
how wrong we were the last 2 weeks.
How wrong were we the last 2 weeks, actually? I don't know. I got to go back and look. We were probably quite wrong. So Jake will be back next week. Looking forward to that. But as always, if you happen to enjoy what we're doing here, don't forget to subscribe if you're a YouTube enjoyer, or you can follow us across all different social media stuff and garbage, whatever you call it these days. You can go to rebookedpod.com for all that goodness. Okay. Full transparency, don't use Twitter. Because I don't. I mean, Matt's still on the hellscape. I don't know how you do it, man. I really don't.
It's a necessity or not. I don't even know. I guess it's not, but it's just like a tool. I don't.
Yeah.
No.
I get it. Look, for us in media, like there was a point in time where, like, in esports, you need, like, if you had a big Twitter following, that meant you got hired for a gig. It was stupid. And I can't imagine that hasn't changed all that much for a lot of people. So I completely understand, which is why my account's still sitting there. I don't really post that much. But it's still sitting there because, that 140K looks pretty good on a gig. In any case, though, you want to get involved with us, once again, go to rebookedpod.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can also join our Discord. We have a great Discord, great community. Join us there. Description will be down below también. And as always, we'd like to hear from you guys in the community. We did get one in particular that I wanted to start with, Matt, because I think you'd enjoy it. One of our listeners and viewers, Philo, 2189, who we have talked about on this show in the past. Thank you so much, Philo. Said, I think TNA should really push heavily to sign Tommaso Ciampa, since he's confirmed he's leaving for WWE, and it's already happened. He's got shirts up on Pro Wrestling Tees and everything. They lost a ton of people before the debut episode. I think Ciampa will be slotted right into that upper mid-card main event tier. I would agree heavily with that. Matt, I know you can't provide much in the way of opinion because
I can give all the opinion. I just
opinion.
Can't give any of the fact.
I
no
can't
fact.
Give
any, hey, here's what's happening and everything. I honestly can't tell you.
What do you think about that? Because I think a guy like Ciampa would be brilliant in TNA.
He'd be great. Of course, it's always a matter of, like, do we have a spot? Do we have the budget for him and all this stuff? But, like, a guy like Ciampa being, oh my God, he would add a ton to anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let alone, and of course that includes us over at TNA. So, like, hi Tommaso, come over, hang out with us, come wrestle with us.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think, Scan, who would you like to see kind of face Ciampa if he were to go to TNA? Like, who would that first feud be with? Because there are a lot of good options.
There's a lot of good options.
And you could debut him as a heel or a baby.
Yeah, either way works on that.
He could do both.
You could do the funniest thing and have him immediately go after the international title that Stax has right now.
Yeah.
And do that. But I mean, I know we keep circling back to the man, but just put him in the ring with Ollie. Good God.
Yeah,
Let those two
yeah.
just tear the house down. That would be such a fantastic match.
It's just funny
Just like,
because it feels like
yeah.
every conversation we have when it comes to TNA just usually ends with or Ali. You know?
Yeah.
He could do
It's a
anything.
good call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Him and
crazy.
Santana would be freaking good too.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, there's some good options there. Yeah, so Tommaso Ciampa, someone who I think everyone would love to see in a TNA ring. Maybe one day. That's something that could happen. The comments don't stop though. This actually was a good one. Because the wrestling group on one of our shorts, and Scan, you actually responded to this one. Said, do we need to see Gunther retire another legend though? And this is in relation to the conversation we had about AJ Styles and Gunther being, probably one of the more interesting matches going into the Royal Rumble, especially after, this past episode of Monday Night Raw. Do we need to see Gunther retire another legend? Especially AJ Styles. Is that necessary? Do we think AJ loses? Is there a possibility? Because they're really hammering it up.
On purpose, I believe.
Yeah, well, obviously, you got to make you
Yeah.
believe it, but at the same time, wouldn't shock me. If AJ,
it would shock me very, very much.
it would. Okay,
Incredibly.
and how so? Explain for the audience.
I did see somebody make a little collage. It was like, when you realize we've been watching the AJ retirement tour this whole time, like it was like him and Cena, him and Punk, and then him and Shinsuke, and like him and Gunther, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, it's been happening for like 6 months, and I'm like, no, because they would never not highlight it from a guy who's accomplished and added this much to wrestling, but of course, even just WWE in particular. And
Yeah.
I don't, as much as the company seems to really be, we're probably going to get a mania in Saudi Arabia and all that stuff. When it comes to somebody's true retirement match, I don't see it happening there.
That's a good point. Yeah.
They're going to do AJ's in Atlanta with his wife and his kids in the front row. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they're
good
going to
call.
do that kind
Good
of
call.
thing. Saudi is for when you come out of retirement because there's a dump truck of money on your front porch.
Yeah.
And you come back for one more after saying you'll never wrestle again. So it's not
Yeah,
for
that's true.
retiring.
Yeah.
It's for coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
But yeah,
For
I just
unretiring.
don't.
Re-retiring.
I'm not saying they'll do the same thing as Cena. Like, we're gonna say it for the next, he's gonna
Yeah.
retire in 1 year. But I don't. I think this is the beginning. I don't think this is and to kind of loop it into his promo on Monday, like he's like, he thinks he's gonna retire me, and I think the thing is gonna be, no, this is gonna be my effing year, and I think he's gonna do cool stuff. They're not gonna label it like they did Cena, but I think he's gonna go on. He's gonna be figured in a lot of things. I do think he'll do a TNA thing. I don't know what the thing is. I think they'll do it at some point. I think he will probably potentially get one of the world titles one more time.
Yeah.
A couple of quote unquote dream matches. And I don't know if it's Gunther who comes around again.
Yeah.
And does it in the end, but I don't think it has to be Gunther. But I do, to get back to Philo's question, yes, we do need to see Gunther. I want to see Gunther take out the old timers though. Legend Killer style. Like let him retire Jericho after he comes back. Let him retire, like, I don't know, Sting when he comes back again. I don't know, like,
No,
stuff like that.
That's not
like,
happening again. Have you seen Sting
I
lately?
know, I know.
He's a silver fox now. He's
yeah, dude.
he's
cool,
really
cooler
repping
than
it.
ever. I hate it.
Exactly. That's what I hate.
Yeah, it does suck.
Could have looked like this.
It does kind of look like cool.
Like, bro, you could have done this the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
fam, that ass, like, that's insane.
He's like Scorpion Geralt.
Yeah, it's and when he came back for that one moment, it was the hypest thing ever. He just it looked like he was a ghost. Of course, adoration for Sting aside. Yeah, no, I actually I do think that it just sucks that like we're not gonna get Joe versus Styles one more time if he does decide, and we're not gonna get Styles versus Omega one more time. And we're not going to get Styles versus Okada one more time. That's why it's like I'm a little bit bummed that like he's choosing to retire, and it's his choice, obviously. I mean, it still goes without saying, but that he's like retiring and doing just WWE, because it's like, man, he had so many iconic moments with those guys that it sucks that we don't get to revisit that one more time. And I still think that all of them are still great too, which is crazy. It's not like back in the day when like, the old timers are coming back and, Hogan could barely do the leg drop. And, like there was like a lot of other old timers who just struggled to be able to kind of like keep up. These guys can still go, like they're still doing it. I don't know.
I'm 50-50 on that, because I get the idea, but I also don't think we need to have nostalgia matches.
That's fair. That's a good point, man. That's a good point.
Look, they made the memory. It does exist. They're incredible. And it probably won't.
Yeah, man.
It might make you feel good in the moment.
That's a heavy one.
Make you feel good in the moment, but like there's a 99% chance you're not going to watch the 2026 version of that match and go, this is so much better or anything. Yeah. It'll be a smile moment. I get it, but like I don't think it's everybody. I think with the way Cena was doing it, everybody feels like oh, when you retire, you got to go and have a match with all your old rivals again. You got to do it again. It's like you don't. If you had a killer feud, incredible story and moments with them 10 years ago, those can just exist 10 years ago in their bubble that they are for being awesome. Like
that's a great point, honestly.
I don't know, like Harrison Ford doesn't need to go do a 16th Indiana Jones movie before he's finally retired.
Well,
he might, but it's like I know it's not the same.
We did get an Indiana Jones.
I know,
movie.
And it was bad. People didn't like it because they were just trying to like relive and reinvent magic. It's like that idea.
Quick aside,
you shouldn't have.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't believe it. That was the thing that I struggled with the entire time.
That's actually a good way of thinking about that.
It was like the whole time I'm watching this man who I clearly is like, he's been standing for a while on set. He's tired. Okay. and then I see him jump from a car to whatever the fuck in that chase scene. No. There's just no way. And I thought about my dad in that moment. He'd be dead. He'd be dead. Anyway, I digress. I don't know. That's a good point, though. I that aside, that one thing that I will disagree with on Indiana Jones, I do agree with you, though, broadly on you don't necessarily need to revisit your hits. They're hits for a reason.
And I'm not against it. I'm fine if you do it, but I don't think it should have to be like a necessity to like do all the greatest hits.
And I think a good example of that, Scan, is Kenny and Okada at All In. It was a great match, and I enjoyed it. But it was nowhere near to the pacing of what they had did previously because they were younger and they could freaking do a lot more crazy shit back then, right? So I don't know. Scan, what were you gonna say?
Something? I mean, and kind of similar to that, we just had, this past Saturday, Nakamura and AJ had arguably, I mean, that was probably Nakamura's best WWE match in years and years and years. He turned back the clock for that match, and we did get what I kind of felt like was truly measuring up to that kind of nostalgia match, but that's the exception. That's not the rule when it comes to these kinds of matches where you see these matchups that happened 10, 15 years ago happen a second, third, seventh, eighth time.
Yeah.
This time around, AJ took all the, they held nothing back in that match too, in a way that you're not sure when you're that much older of a wrestler you can really do without walking away from that hurt. Yeah. But I mean, greatest hits are one thing, but you don't need to go through all of them.
That's a great point, though, about the Nakamura match, because I guess when you think about the history of AJ Styles and his greatest matches, Nakamura is definitely up there, right? And way to revisit, I think one that lived up to what they did previously. And then I would probably, and I would probably say the only other person would be Joe. I think that's the only other individual who I would probably say it's like, damn, I just want one more match. That's real. Like, I know what you're saying, Matt, but selfishly for me, that's the only one where I'm like, I just want one. And I know you'd want that too, but just I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh man. Though, even though those were great stories, one thing that's happening in the backdrop of all of this, which I gotta give WWE credit for, they're doing a really good job of like kind of weaving CM Punk into a lot of this. And now, we ended up with a awesome main event between let me get my camera right. An awesome main event between AJ Styles and CM Punk. And it resulted in Finn Balor's kind of like return to the spotlight, which when you think about the people from this era, of like who had come from AJ Styles, his run in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Bullet Club, AJ Styles, Finn Balor was in that. So there's like this really great history here. But on top of that, there's we also saw Finn Balor have an interaction with CM Punk that was like, hey, listen, you want to shine, you got to get out of the Judgment Day. And then when Finn decides, hey, I'm going to go get my shot, gets blocked out of the Rumble, can't do it. He says, screw it, I'm going to do it the hard way. I like all of this. I like where all this is going. I like what's happening with Finn Balor. I'm kind of digging this CM Punk championship run with the World Heavyweight title. It's different. It doesn't feel like the world is ending all the time. It just feels like it's a series of just good matches, opponents, and things like that. Is that the read anyone else is getting?
Yeah, I'm getting the read that the WHC, as I like to call it, just on the lowdown. It's a little bit more of like, at least right now. I mean, these can obviously flip, but right now it's like the sporting world championship. It is. It's like, hey, let's have cool matches. We'll have stories, but it's a little bit more of just like cut and dry. Like, you get a shot. Fine, I'm going to beat you. You get a shot. And right now on SmackDown, the Undisputed World Championship, whatever we're calling it now, that's a little bit more like soap opera shit with Drew and Jacob and Cody and then Sammy's stuff trying to go. It's a little bit more soap opera-y and a little bit more intense drama driven. So I like that there's a dichotomy between the two.
Yeah, interesting. Do you see that as well, Scan?
Yeah, I definitely feel like the World Heavyweight Championship is kind of feeling to me right now, and I'm not trying to bring the title down at all or anything, but it almost feels the way that the Intercontinental Championship should be feeling.
Yeah, no, I was literally going to say that when Matt was talking about it. Go on.
It's the title you're seeing every week. It's the title that Punk is being very proud to defend whenever he can defend it. The IC title's locked up in different injury situations right now and everything, so that is what it is. But, seeing Punk being the fighting champion that he says he wants to be, being proud to hold this title, flaunting it, showing off the fact that I am the best in the world and I want to prove it. It's a great way to display this belt.
Yeah.
It's a great way to make whoever is holding it, and more importantly, make whoever is challenging for it look great, because it's a sought after prize. And I feel like this belt hasn't really felt like a sought after prize for a while, but Punk's doing a very good job of making it feel like that.
I actually would push back a little bit on that, because I think when Gunther had it, it was like pretty damn good, like you were seeing like everyone come out of the woodwork. I like how your camera's just not cooperating with you right now.
It's not.
But on that note, though, I do think that like this is like a classic case of just the man making the belt, and like really continuing to like push it further and further. I think like Punk has been doing a good job in that. Thought Seth Rollins did a great job in that as well. And then, I think Jey Uso, I think his run was more just marred by the fact that it was just there's a lot of inconsistencies along the way, right? How he got it, making Gunther tap out. Then after that, like they started doing this downfall of Jay story and all this kind of crumbled. It did kind of make the belt feel a little weird. Damian Priest too never really got off the ground with it as well, right? Like had it and had a few good matches, but it never really felt like it was a big deal. So yeah, I will agree, but I think it's just because like it depends on who that individual is and how much time and attention they're putting into it as well, right? And I think with Punk, he's an individual who just demands a lot of time, and Matt does a good job with it. I think if anything, does a good job with what he's given, and as a result, has made that belt feel a little bit better, right? So
I think so, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, that said, though, I do want to talk about Finn Balor and all of this because I feel like that's the more interesting part. Is this the beginning? Is this to start a scan of where we start to see Finn Balor get back to that point, get back to the world title? I think that there is a great opportunity here. And maybe that this is the direction that we're going in, and we just don't know it yet.
I mean, God, it better be, because you're not going to get better setup for him than where he is right now.
Yeah.
He just had arguably the best singles match he's had in years and years and years, with his match against Punk. Gets given great platforms. There's a great amount of story twists going on right now with him having to deal with his personal desire to be champion versus what's going on in the Judgment Day right now, and how he needs to stand up for himself and stand out, which is exactly what he did at the end of Raw. Because if this push isn't the one, it kind of feels similar to Drew in the 3 Stages of Hell match recently, where it's like, if Drew didn't win this one, he's never gonna win it.
Yeah.
But it felt like if Drew didn't win that match, that was it. He was never gonna win the world title again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like we're really entering that territory with Finn Balor now. It's been so long since he was involved in the main event storylines the way he's being shaped up to right now. And if he doesn't win it this time, I'm going to feel the same way of just like, well, he's never going to win it then.
Yeah, I guess my thing is like, I'm thinking about Mania and how this all fits into it. And, and we're going to talk about as well who's winning the Royal Rumble. And now that we know that Finn Balor isn't going to be in the Royal Rumble, granted, I think in the world of wrestling, we know that these things can change, at a heartbeat. Finn Balor could attack someone and take their spot. That's a thing that people have done in the past. I would look to that maybe. No, but Matt, where does Finn fit in the picture of the World Heavyweight Championship? Is it the World Heavyweight Championship that he's even looking at, or is it, potentially maybe moving to SmackDown and getting undisputed title back?
Well, that would be really weird considering he's doing all this work on Raw.
I know. I'm just wondering where it even goes.
Hey, that would be really
think about it like this. Naomi was all up in SmackDown stuff, and then out of nowhere, just cashed in and ended up on Raw and was the women's world champion.
She had a briefcase.
Because she had a brief, but that could happen.
Finn doesn't have a briefcase.
That could happen here too. Down the line.
I'm just saying.
Go for it though.
So So the thing with Finn is I love to see it. He's freaking awesome. I think we all love to see it. Anybody who's a fan of his and fan of wrestling in general. But it has been a minute since he's been in the main event scene. I absolutely do not think this is if he doesn't win it now, he's never gonna, because you can't do that when he hasn't even been in the main event scene for 8 years or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
So this could be the beginning of it. All right, let's start moving him back there. And then if, a year from now, whatever, a year and a half from now, he's doing good work, but he still hasn't won it, then we can start having that Drew conversation. Here, this doesn't feel permanent in a way. I don't know why.
Okay.
This feels like a toe in the water, so to speak. It's like, hey, we know Finn's been kind of locked into this Judgment Day thing. Hunter knows how good he is. Everybody knows how good he is. And it's like, we want to give him another opportunity. Let's see how this goes. Let's see the reaction. Do people really buy into this?
Yeah.
And this feels like a week by week kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we got a great response to the title match last week. So let's keep them kind of in the scene. Maybe we'll run it back either at the Rumble or like after the Rumble or something like that. And maybe like, do we want to maybe make this a Mania story, or we've got something else on the back burner if this doesn't work out? Like, this doesn't feel like a sure-footed move yet, but I really hope it is because Finn is so freaking good.
And actually, while you were saying that too, and you mentioned it being like a stopgap, I actually think that, and I am very much guilty of this all the time. I'm not looking at like what else is at play here. And I think like one of the other things that was at play with this, the way that the story is kind of played out, or at least on Raw so far, was that whole, if you want to succeed, you got to ditch the Judgment Day. Now, I think that's the story.
I agree.
Right? And I think like what we're going to start to see is Finn Balor's slow separation from the Judgment Day. Right? And I think that's more appealing. Then when Finn separates himself from the Judgment Day, a la Damian Priest, a la Rhea Ripley, then that's when he can start to say like, hey, you know what? Now that I've like handled business with Dom and JD and these bums,
On that point, again, we're talking about Finn in the world title, you have awoken something deep within my soul.
Do we need the graphic? Yeah,
I think we do.
Sure, throw it up.
Oh, no, it's not playing. I'm going to fix it. Go for it.
I'm not speaking until the graphics up.
Okay, the graphics coming up. Fantasy booking. All right, go for it.
I think this is a match to get him, to your point, separated from the Judgment Day. I don't think he wins the world title here or in this next vicinity at all. I think the fissures continue, and I think he wins the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania from Dom. And that puts him back on his own path. And then maybe that's his kind of stepping stone out of the Judgment Day onto his own, and then having a title could kind of put him back into that singles, and then maybe, later in the year, towards the end of the year, he's back into that.
And unlike the last time he held the belt, right? This time around, he's going out week in, week out, winning matches, doing the thing that Gunther did, that Dragunov did, that Carmelo Hayes is doing, that like all these other guys are doing, just proving that they belong at the top of the card. And we know Finn Balor can put on god tier matches because he's genuinely like still one of the best wrestlers, and he's gotten just better over time. So that's just going to make it even more exciting. I think if that's the pathway we're going, sign me the hell up, because then at that point you build him up like you built up Gunther, like you built up Jay. Like you built up all these other guys, and Triple H kind of has a formula, and he tends to follow it. And I think if he does it like this, it's probably going to work out that way. And I'm excited, and I'm kind of pumped for that. I'm in for a face Finn Balor IC title reign. So then I would assume then we're gonna get Punk, AJ, and Balor at the Rumble then. In a triple threat, right? That would feel that'd be okay, right?
But just
I'd be gone.
Have they announced anything for it?
Not for the WHC.
How many? No. You need to stop. How many matches have they announced for the Rumble so far? Outside,
let me guess. 5.
4.
We just have the 2. So then we're probably not going to get. Well, you don't have to do it at a pay-per-view. You could probably do a triple threat at like a main event, or just an episode of Raw.
Yeah, we have 4 matches right now.
What are those matches?
The 2 Rumble matches, and then McIntyre versus Sammy and AJ versus Gunther. Those are the only 4
AJ's
matches
fighting Gunther. That's right. AJ's fighting Gunther. So, I could see a world then where AJ beats Gunther and then is like, hey, yo, I beat Gunther, former world champion. I was ratted out of my match because of ratty Finn Balor. I want a title match. Punk comes out. You know what? You're right. I want to fight you, beat you clean. Let's do this. Balor comes out. No, screw both of you guys. I got screwed. I'm in. And then because wrestlers make matches, and I think that's and Matt's favorite thing. But I think that I think you could do that, and the reason why I'm hell bent on this, because there's got to be another match, right, between Balor and Punk, right, and I think that's going to be the match where Judgment Day screws up and costs Balor the title.
I get that,
and that's where things start to slowly, kind of fall apart. I don't know. That's like
interesting
because there's got to be some friction that gets developed between Judgment Day and
there
Balor.
was. We saw the thing with Liv.
Yeah, where she was like, "Get in line," right?
First one, yeah, kind of like remember where you come from, sort of thing.
Yeah,
and but no, that could be interesting. I don't see it getting made for this weekend.
No.
Although it is wild. That. I guess it is wild not having a World Heavyweight Championship match, kind of.
Well, they have the WWE. They have the Undisputed on the card.
I know, but like it feels weird not having your world champion having some kind of representation on the show.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do something else. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Punk's even going to be there. So I could be wrong about that. But
that's what I mean. That's what feels weird, though, is that doing something.
Look, this whole Royal Rumble build has felt weird. Okay, it has felt weird. It has kind of felt a little afterthoughty at times, and now they're like everyone was coming out and be like, I'm in the Rumble. So it's like, yeah, great, but like the
one advantage, not advantage, but I guess the one silver lining to that is that there are no right now to me like that guy's gonna win it.
There's
like,
no clear winner.
LOL, Cody wins. Like we're going with the Cody
and
story.
You said this
again,
last week, I think. You said it's the Rumble. You don't really need to like advertise it because it's the Rumble.
The Rumble is the selling point. Is the unpredictable Royal Rumble. What's gonna happen? Who's gonna be a surprise? Who's going to WrestleMania?
Exactly.
And then that's you don't need a giant. Then the other extra matches are just kind of like cannon fodder
for sure,
and stuff like that.
Which means though we are we're gonna have our Royal Rumble predictions. We're gonna do that a little bit later on. Don't worry about it. Some interesting through lines, I think, across from WWE even to AEW right now, because while AJ Styles is kind of in this semi-retirement tour thing ish. We also are getting that on the AEW side, kind of, with one Kenneth Omega the Fourth. Fourth of his name. It's true.
Okay.
It's a real thing. He told me that himself. Kenny Omega is now kind of in this, I want one more title type of thing, right? He was the international champion. Lost it to Okada at All In the unification match, and now wants world title gold. And this is a similar thing, but I think I wanted to talk about AEW because their situation scan is so fascinating, because MJF right now is just in a shark pit. Like he is being circled around by the sharks right now. There are a lot of them, but there's something different about this run from MJF, and I know you feel it too.
Mm-hmm.
He's not being a chicken shit heel. He's not running away. He's fighting everyone. He's winning, and he's doing heel dickish things along the way. He's still a douchebag. But
I was gonna say he literally ran away from Brody King.
Well, he ran away from Brody King. That's a different thing. But I'm talking about him doing the matches. Like in his matches, it's reminding me more of like an old NWA like Ric Flair type of thing, where like he's like doing the matches, he's doing the chicken shit things, but he's also like still a great wrestler who can still like get great moves off and do the figure four leg lock at a moment's notice, right? He could bust out his torpedo a pile driver at a moment's notice. Like Scan, I just feel like there is a a difference with this title run right now, but it's interesting because there's so many people circling him at this point.
It's one of the interesting things about MJF and the way that he wrestles and tells stories with his matches is that he usually fails the most when he's trying to be the most of a chicken shit. The more he leans into that direction, the more things go bad for him. The more he makes a fool of himself, the more he gets embarrassed, the more he loses. The more he focuses on how good of a wrestler he actually is and tries to wrestle matches purely as a wrestler, the better his results are. And that's the way his career has been throughout AEW. All the way back to when he was teaming with Adam Cole and Better Than You, Baby. He wasn't being a heel then. He wasn't going, he wasn't tricking his way in and out of matches. And that's when he was having some of his best stuff going on in the company at the time. I mean, this match right here, but this was an absolute barn burner between these two. A top 5 all-time AEW match. And it's because MJF went through the match as a pure wrestler and not as a chicken shit heel. Yeah. And sure, like we said, he's still running away. He's still being annoying. He's still being classic MJF on the mic. But the more he is a pure wrestler, when that bell rings, the higher a success rate he sees.
Yeah, that match with Bandito was amazing.
Yeah. I have to stop the train. While we're on this photo, don't go to my solo. Stay here. Stay here, cameraman. Why is in this frame, MJF's face looks like
I can explain.
The bad guys from GoldenEye.
I can explain. This one, I actually had to do an image enhance because it was so blurry. Because I needed a shot of these two, so I just pulled it and then I did an image enhance, and it made him essentially just. I don't know what this is, but
looks like Max Payne.
Yes,
like from the original Max Payne.
That's a perfect
where it was this super polygonal character, but then the face was weirdly scrunchy and detailed in a grotesque way.
It looks like
Max.
Dude, it's funny. Yeah, I'm glad you noticed it because I actually was looking at the picture as I was let me change that. This is some nightmare fuel.
Funnier.
Yeah, it was getting funnier as I stared at it. But I was looking and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with his face? I was actually going to use a better picture for that, and you were mentioning Adam Cole, so I was like, oh yeah, let me use the one Adam Cole picture I have, like a dingbat. But yeah, to this point though, and to what you're saying, I think you look at the Bandito match, and that was a really good example. Oh my God, what a great match that was! So fun. And Bandito that guy is definitely going to be a world champion one day, and I'm so excited for it. But also he also did that match with Alec Price at Limitless Wrestling. That was really good. Watch that one. Just another fantastic match. And it's what you were saying, right? He's out there doing his thing. MJF is just so damn good. So this run is really fun. That being said, though, right? I mean, Matt, to kind of go back to the point, though, he still has a lot of people circling around him right now, and one of those individuals is Kenny Omega, who could very well be the one that takes that belt away from him. Where's your mindset at when it comes to who's in that title picture? And how this plays out for MJF, because it does feel like MJF's kind of just doing his thing right now while all this is happening around him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't have an idea of how this is because they keep introducing. What I'm curious to see is how, and I do think it'll be all right, but how this pays off, because they did that big 4-way promo with, obviously Swerve and Hangman still there, their eyes on him, and that's where Kenny was introduced into the fray too. Then the Bandito's kind of in the rear view, but then Brody King out of nowhere. Yeah. I'm like, okay, it's. But
I think that's more of a stopgap, like you'd said. I think that's more of I think they're starting to get ready to put Brody into more of a singles kind of position.
So
that's my read.
Which can be, but. At the end of the day, whatever, however, 4 guys, 5 guys, if whoever it is, everybody but one of those is going to be a stopgap. Yeah. It's going to be just a bump in the road. I'm trying to suss out like where is the long term, like
Yeah.
where is the next big title change? Because yeah, you would have to imagine he's gonna go through Brody. He's gonna go through Swerve. He might be a
Yeah.
Hangman again. Is Kenny the big? Is this Kenny's last title run? You know, like is that the big story we're trying to get to? Like
Mm.
he's the maybe like Max in his own way. Like even though he is the world champ, and maybe that's the story. Is that even though he's the world champ, Kenny is kind of the final boss of AEW. Not to co-opt that phrase that's been used 8 gajillion times in the last 3 years in wrestling.
Yeah.
But he's that guy. He's like that pillar of pro wrestling around the world for many people. He's like he was the measuring stick. He was Will Ospreay before Will Ospreay. You know, he was the guy who brought that from the West, went to Japan, brought it back here, and helped get AEW off the ground. So for Max, is it like it's a weird thing? He's chasing Kenny.
Yeah.
Is that the story we get to eventually?
Yeah.
Where it's I beat Swerve, I beat Hangman, I beat Bandito, I beat anybody who come up. It was like, and I know they wrestled before, so it's not like you've never beaten me, blah blah blah. But it's like, hey, I'm the fucking measuring stick. You want to beat everybody? Beat me, all in, whatever the fuck it is, all out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It'll definitely be all in. That much is for certain.
It feels like that could be it, but I don't feel confident in saying that. That just seems like a neat story to me.
Yeah. No, I like that read. I think that there's another individual that's been out of the picture for a while that I think could actually be the one, because here's where I see Kenny in this situation, right? There's one development in the middle of all of that, and maybe it's not something that, you know, takes up like months. Maybe it's something that's just like a week or two, and you know, like they have back and forth. But it was Swerve and Kenny, because when Hangman was all like happy-go-lucky with Kenny and stuff, Swerve was giving him like the stank face on the side and was like not happy with this whole situation. Was it him not happy with Hangman, seeing Hangman be all happy-go-lucky, him being bothered with Kenny? Like, we didn't really get clarification, or at least I don't think we did. But I would like to see more Swerve and Kenny, so I could see them potentially fighting a little bit more down the line, especially now that Hangman, I think, is going to have to step away from the world title picture just to kind of focus on the trios titles. But who knows? Maybe that's part of the story as well. I don't know. But I think as far as like that individual who is waiting in the wings, I'm interested to see what the hell happens with Bobby Lashley. Because to me, that's like, this could very much end up being like a Bobby Lashley Miz type situation, you know, where like Lashley just shows up and is like, oh, you want to talk crap? Okay, cool. I'll beat the hell out of you right now. And then he does that. And after MJF does, which I think would be a little bizarre, but I still would like to see Bobby Lashley be in that convo. And I don't feel like we had any real good resolution from the Hurt Syndicate MJF, you know, team up. So I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know. That's my only.
And then the big question mark though is Will Ospreay.
Yeah, and that's actually very true. Shit.
I think 2026 is the year you crown Will.
Yeah.
I think they've held off on it long enough. And kudos to them for doing that, because he was easily the guy you could have pinned as a golden ticket his first couple of months in, and nobody would have batted an eye. But he's gone around the loop, around the horn with Fletcher and the Don Callis family and Swerve and Hangman and all this shit.
Ready for a run.
And really built up everybody around him in addition to himself. Yeah, I think, is it Max going through everybody, including Kenny, and then out comes Will, and Will is the guy who does it? Or is it what I would dig seeing? Here's some more fantasy booking. Don't need the graphic. I'm on a roll. Don't stop me.
Oh, boy.
We see it would be cool if we tell the Kenny story. Kenny, one final push, beats young Maximus, especially because to that point, Max is really hitting in his promos. yeah, I'm making fun of everybody. Audience is ugly. You're poor. All this stuff. But he keeps coming back to, I'm the best professional wrestler in the world. Like, to your point, Scan, he's making it about the wrestling, about his skill. And with Kenny being the measuring stick, he beats Kenny. Or maybe Kenny actually, no, this was my thought. Sorry, ADD today. Kenny beats Max. He did it one more time. The GOAT is the GOAT again, standing on top. And then Will Ospreay turns heel and takes his head off with a hidden blade or something like that.
Yeah, with a hidden blade.
If you've seen Will Ospreay's like world title heel run in United Empire, he's awesome.
Yeah.
So it would be a fun way for him to maybe. I don't imagine he'll be out until then. It sounds like he's probably going to come back soon, but keeps himself busy and then like. Congratulations. Some baby faces come out to raise Kenny's hand, and then Will turns on him. It'd be fun to have Will's first world title reign as a heel. Like, he's been the best baby face in the world for 2 years now.
That would be crazy.
And then gets his first world title turning heel on a fellow, New Japan legend.
Dude,
and
you just put all these images in my head. You just said words and then the images appeared.
The story illustrates
because
itself.
I'm seeing a shot of Kenny Omega beating MJF. Everyone hates this guy because he's a douchebag and he just keeps winning, but he's a douchebag and he's not like. This isn't Death Riders where it's
exactly.
Like we got to save the title. It's just
we just don't like him.
We just don't like you, man, and we just want you to lose. And we're really hoping that the GOAT, the greatest of all time, finally shuts you the fuck up. And he does it. And he does it. And then everyone comes out to celebrate with the GOAT, including a returning Will Ospreay, who probably had a month back, a few good matches. Will's back, smile, goody two-shoe, haha. Talks about wanting the title again. Or, wanting the title, period.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And then while they're celebrating, Kenny's holding that belt up high. Maybe the Young Bucks are celebrating with him or something like that. Bah, hidden blade out of nowhere.
And not even, can you imagine? I mean, it'd take a lot of trust, but they all in scene. Yeah. Every Young Bucks, a couple of
so good.
Keep it to the mid-card bit. And he drops to his knees. We're going out on the pay-per-view. And then from the back corner, just boom, to the back of the head.
Dude.
And fucking stands over him to end the
And that's such a Kenny and Ospreay thing to do. So that's why it's so dramatic. It's so over the top. It's so excessive. It would be brilliant. Scan, did we sell you? Did we sell you on the pitch?
Are we going to get a moment where, Will hugs Kenny and there's going to be a reverse camera shot of just dead face? Complete heel turn.
No. See, I actually don't want that. I don't want that. It needs to be the hidden blade. It needs to be that move. That move is brilliant.
I mean, it would literally live up to its
name. Is The Rock going to be in the ring?
Hidden,
the
hidden blade.
The hidden blade, it would be brilliant. I don't know. I think that would be, oh man, that would be something. And then from there, right, you get this guy who not only is pound for pound one of the greatest wrestlers, that's working right now, but he's also going to be like this massive asshole. And I don't know though, could you go with, do you put people around him or do you just kind of let him do his thing? I don't know how that would go.
You can. You can,
but
bring United Empire back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Reunited Empire. Is that what that's going to be then?
I mean, I don't know if you'd get, but I could see Will maybe convincing a Davis and Doyle to kind of roll with him. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That could maybe be a possibility.
It's, and you have the obvious, rollout from that of the inevitable clash between him and Fletcher again.
Yeah.
What does that mean for Fletcher's future in the Don Callis family? There's a lot you can spin off from there as well.
We haven't even gone into just how fucking well done this whole Takeshita Don Callis situation is playing out. Oh my.
That's an entirely separate thing, but
there's more conflict. There's more issue. Okada's still poking the bear. Proto Sheeta was back together, working together again. It was epic. It was awesome. Everyone was loving it. Everyone was cheering for Proto Sheeta. But then Don Callis came out and put their hands up, and people were mad.
Mm-hmm.
And then Okada came out, and people got even more mad. Dude, man.
The cold shoulder that Takeshita gave to Don Callis was a nice touch.
Oh, good. So
it's a really nice touch.
There is a lot happening here, and if we end up in a situation where we get a heel world champion Will Ospreay versus a freaking face Kyle Fletcher and a face Takeshita, what a world we would be in.
You could throw Okada into that. You could throw Okada into that and make it a 4-way, and it'd be one of the most insane matches you'd see in your life.
You genuinely could. And then on top of that, you have Swerve, and then you have Hangman, and then you have like freaking Jack Perry, and you have like a freaking Darby Allin and Moxley, and he's like insane. Quick, it's insane.
Yeah. But one quick thing I do want to say though, because you brought up that picture earlier you had of MJF with the "better than you" on his shirt. Yeah. I would love if this ends up being a lengthy reign, can he come out with versions of his coat that say "better than you" and Bandito and Swerve and this person and this person, and he finally and what it's a list of names, and he's crossing them out as he goes through that. I need to beat this guy and this guy and this guy, and the bottom of the list is Kenny. Yeah. He's got to take out Kenny. That's the one guy that he's got to make sure he does. I think that'd just be a funny thing for him to do.
So do we think MJF holds the belt till All In into the summer?
I think a while. I don't think as long as his first reign, obviously, but I think that they need to have him, he needs to stay looking like the threat that he is.
I want to look at something real fast. AEW pay-per-views 2026.
I'm ready for, I'm always ready. Like, if they have something else cooking outside of where our heads are going with all these challengers and stuff, I'm ready to be taken on a path less traveled kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's just, my brain keeps going there. I feel like you wouldn't introduce so many challengers in such a short time unless the idea was like, he's going to go through them all.
Yeah.
Or like he's going to, by hook or by crook, or whether it's definitively, whatever it is, he's going to find his way through all of those challengers until he can't.
So looking, and here's the other thing, though, that I just realized. All In will be in London.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, they're back in London.
Yeah.
That's going to be Will.
So, well, no, but here's the thing, though.
That doesn't have to be Will. I thought about that, too. It doesn't.
It doesn't have to be Will Win. That's too obvious. I think that would be... I think you go this route.
The turn would be fun.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, like because here's the thing: how do you get people to boo Will Ospreay? You have him attack Kenny Omega.
Beat up Kenny.
You have him attack the most beloved wrestler in AEW. It's that simple. It's not. It's not that hard. Fuck. That happens. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. So we have Revolution coming up, and now the thing is, though, is that is it MJF? Now the thing is, though, does it need to be MJF though in order for this to happen? It doesn't necessarily need to be the case, because All In London is going to be August 30th in 2026. That is a long time from here now. So
it's not July.
It's not July.
It's August now.
Yeah. So I don't know actually. If you have MJF hold the belt all the way till then, you could do Swerve.
You've got Revolution, you've got Dynasty, you got Double or Nothing, right?
Yeah.
And Double or Nothing's usually May.
Yeah.
So they have nothing between May and August?
Yeah, they have April and August. Nothing between April and August. I'm sure they'll announce something else in between. I'm sure they'll have some stuff.
Well, Forbidden Door, right, is usually, but are they done with that?
I don't know. It did feel like they're done with it. So they could announce a new pay-per-view or a new show in between that, because Dynasty's April. Yeah, they're gonna have to. You need something.
April. Double or Nothing is May, right?
Yeah, Double or Nothing's usually May. So I'm a little shocked that we haven't gotten that one announced. But I would assume that all pay-per-views aren't announced yet. Yeah, but the dates that we do have are, Yeah.
No, there has to be more pay-per-view events. AEW did 10 pay-per-view events last year, and that's the most they've ever done. Otherwise, they'd only done 8 in an individual year. So that calendar is definitely going to fill out because Revolution's March 15th and Dynasty is less than a month later. And then you have all the way from then until basically not even August, basically September. It's August 30th is when All In is. So they've got to fill that in.
A couple
somehow.
of key things, though, to keep in mind is that I think, you could be right, Matt, about the theory that you're rolling with Kenny here, but I think it could happen at Dynasty. And if it, because that's in Vancouver, British Columbia. So they could do it up in Canada, get Kenny a title in Canada,
crown a Canadian in Canada,
and then have the turn happen in Canada, and then
they work to All In.
Yeah, and then get work to All In
match.
Where you have Will win. But I still feel like that's I don't know. I love that picture you painted. I just think it's so freaking good. It makes me excited. It got me thrilled. I was like, "Ooh, I really hope this happens." And if it doesn't happen, it is what it is. I'm still gonna enjoy whatever they provide, but it's still just like, that would have been that's gonna be pretty dope. We had some things happen this past episode of Impact. Some, I would say some interesting little tidbits. Maybe a small little system collapse, perhaps. I don't know. System reboot. Yeah. Of course, check out the latest quick shoot that we did where we talked about that and what we were hoping for, and we ended up getting something really cool. Moose and JDC are out now. JDC is retired, so I think that was basically the end of that for JDC. And then for Moose now, it's going to be Moose versus the System. Yay! Kind of dig that. And Alicia is in the middle of all this, and she was kind of conflicted. She's the one I'm more interested in this story here. Scan. What do you make of how this played out? And then, of course, we'll get Matt's take, but Matt's too close to the sauce, so we gotta be careful here.
I love kind of the complexity of all the pieces that are involved here. The history between people, like to my belief, Bear Bronson was trained by Kurt Hawkins, I believe.
Brian Myers, yes.
That you have that connection between them right now. Sorry,
no,
and then
that was the most actually.
Yeah,
I know. I get it when people call me Aiden English. I haven't been Aiden English in 6 years.
I'm sorry.
That's fair. You know what? Good point. I'm so sorry about that.
Brian Myers.
Sorry about that, Aiden English.
Yeah. So Brian Myers
You're right,
was the trainer there. So you have that connection between them. I'm very excited to see what Moose does on his own here. I'm excited to see, that he had a fantastic match there against Cedric Alexander to start off the show, especially after that back body drop he took in the triple threat the other night. I was amazed at the quality of the match that those two had to start off the show. And then closing everything with that last betrayal after everything looked so great at the beginning of the night. Honor amongst combatants, all looked good. Cedric got a good win, but he was clearly not done. And yet again, Cedric Alexander is involved in one of the more interesting turns going on in AEW, in TNA, where last time he was the one who was turned on and ate a low blow for it.
Yep.
And now he's the one who got the chair shot to the back and is with allies this time. I'm really interested in seeing where this new system goes, what their initial goals are going to be, and whatever conflict is going to come internally from. As you can see from the look on her face there, she sure doesn't seem like she knew what the heck was going to happen, but who knows?
Yeah. I am, I'm interested, what was why did Eddie go through all this stuff with JDC only to then do that? I'm curious, was this him trying to like shed weakness or something like that? Or, is this them trying to get back to where they felt they needed to be, like the more ruthless system that they once were? Maybe they got soft in their years, Matt. What's your read on this, and where would you like to see this story kind of develop with the players involved?
Well, I would certainly watch Impact this Thursday on AMC.
Oh,
You might get some of those answers. This is the both advantage and tragedy of taping things in advance. You can go and look at some of the things that happen. Not everything. We don't give you everything. But yeah, I like the development. I like the opportunity for Bear Bronson. I think is going to be awesome. I like Cedric Alexander was kind of floundering, or like not floundering, but like kind of just like spinning his wheels. This gives him some direction. And I think Eddie Edwards kind of reclaims his position kind of at the top of that heap too, because he was kind of probably sharing that with Moose. And then I think Moose works really well as a babyface, even though he's a real life heel. That's a joke. But like, I think his style and everything like that, and the way he wrestles lends itself well to being. I mean, he's just explosive, athletic. Like you're so much fun to watch.
He got a great theme. It comes in. People get moose. You can chant with him.
Love that stuff. So, and then I mean, Alicia, we've kind of saw this a little bit before with if you follow it along a couple of years ago with Honor No More, the kind of the Ring of Honor cast-offs that came into TNA. And Eddie Edwards led them, and Alicia was like, at first was like, what the hell are you doing? You're turning your back on TNA. And then they kind of came back together again. Do we see that replay where she's kind of convinced to join in? She seems very conflicted, which that is cool. Husband, wife, not being clued in on something so drastic. I think I'm excited for I think the system needed this. You'll have to watch to see the explanation and more, but I think it's a good direction. It's a nice little shot in the arm for that group.
So if anything, I think let's table whatever convo we'd have on that until we hear what that reasoning is, because I'm very curious and I really want to know, like, now, like narratively, where things go as well for for Moose and for Alicia. Who kind of takes that ownership and reign of the system? Is it Myers and Edwards kind of in tandem? And then does that end up creating friction between the two down the line? Because these are the two mainstays, and that always works out in groups, But these guys have been rolling together for so long, so it's like, ooh, I don't know.
Very true.
I'm compelled. I'm interested. I'm in. There was also another amazing development that happened on that episode of Impact, which I think a lot of people were super, super thrilled about, but were very much unexpected. Trey Miguel returned back to TNA Wrestling. And I mean, it was in the Feaster. What was it? Feaster. Oh my God, I was
Feast or Fired.
Feast or Fired. Feast or Fire. I was gonna say Feast or Famine, but but I'm like, I don't think anyone's being starved. So
Can you imagine? Yeah, you keep your job, but we lock you in a room without food.
And you don't get catering. You don't get catering when you lose. That actually, I can see TNA making that a stipulation in a match. You lose, you don't get catering. Trey comes back into the fold here. I'm excited. I think this is good for him. Just because the situation with AEW, don't know what happened. Don't know. Maybe one day we'll get more clarification on what I guess it was like some dispute with WB and Trey Miguel, and ended up being not working out for him. But hey, you know what? What AEW's loss is TNA's regain. Because they already had Trey Miguel before. And I think if anything, hey, now's the time. Like this guy's got let's see what he could do as a solo star. I'm looking forward to that. So, not really much narratively there for him. We'll of course see what's there. And then lastly, what's next for Mike Santana? Where are we expecting here for Mike Santana scan? Or Matt, if you want to start.
No. Go ahead. Like you said, I
really don't know is the thing, is that, he gave a great speech last week, I belong here, being a great ending, finally claiming back that title, making sure that his identity as the, the standard bearer of TNA is secure at this point. He's the guy. So we know Nick Nemeth is still waiting in the wings at some point. He talked very, very highly of Kazarian during that bit as well, and how much respect he has for Kaz. So I really, really don't know. Could be time for some newer, fresher blood to step up to the main event scene, mix things up a little bit. I could even see down the line Moose getting involved as well once he's done with everything he's doing with the system. Again, circling around to the same man every time. There's no way Ali isn't eventually going to be involved as well. I feel like with the rivalry. Those two have such a history as it is that, reigniting that is going to be instant. So
yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see. Again, I'm looking forward to Thursday. I'm looking forward to seeing how this starts playing out.
Yeah. No, I agree. Matt, what about you?
Just again, because I do know some things happening, but just you can already see it starting to form. I was almost going to make the thread to AEW as well, and there's a little bit you can even make the similar argument for the undisputed WWE Championship, given the tournament they just had. But it's a similar sharks in the water around Santana thing again. You have Frankie, who's technically, I guess he had his rematch in the Texas Death Match, but he's not done with the world title. Nick Nemeth has a call your shot, Money in the Bank style cash in whenever he wants. Somebody just got a world title shot from Feast or Fired. We will find out, I think, this coming week.
Yeah. Who got the? Because it's like you get a briefcase, or how does it work?
There's 4 briefcases, and then they get revealed this week.
Who got the 4 briefcases?
Eddie Edwards, Steve Macklin, Eric Young, and Trey Miguel. And it's X Division, International title, World title, and Fayed.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, just saw your eyes there.
So
wait, go again real fast. It was Trey Miguel.
Yeah. Trey Miguel, Eric Young, Steve Macklin, and Eddie Edwards.
One of these 4 is getting fired.
Yep.
Oh shit. That's crazy.
But yeah, so you have whoever gets the briefcase, you got Nick Nemeth, you got Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah.
You might see some more over the next few weeks being floated out there. So I think for Santana, it's that who can I trust? Because even maybe there's some of the baby faces that want their shot too. So it's like, I'm looking over my shoulder everywhere I go.
I gotta say though, now that we've seen this kind of play out in Eddie Edwards, the turn, I am very compelled by Eddie Edwards being the guy who kind of goes into this feud with Santana for the world title. And I also like the idea. And I also like the idea of Moose helping out Santana after Moose and Santana had friction as well. And Moose being like, hey, listen, I gotta, these guys screwed me up and I'm going to back you up because, they're a problem. That would be very compelling.
Well, remember too, it was it? No, not last year, but the year prior, Santana went through the whole system.
Yeah.
One by one, ultimately facing Moose at Bound for Glory in 2024.
Yeah.
So who better to have your back at tearing the system down than the guy who did it once before?
Yeah. No, it's very true. Oh, dude, that's a good point, man. Okay, we're cooking. Guys, this episode we were even cooking. The whole time we've had our little Chef Remy. Okay, we had a little hats up here and he's been pulling the strings. All right, and we've just been cooking this whole time. Unreal. Okay, so we talked about what's been going on across all the pro wrestling businesses in North America. But now let's talk about one of the big events that's going to be happening this weekend in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's going to be, oh boy, the Royal Rumble. And look, last year, we did a whole segment. We were predicting who would win the Royal Rumble based on how the show was going week in and week out. We decided not to do it this year because And the Royal Rumble build was a little confusing and a little, not as involved as it had been in years past. But that doesn't mean we're not going to pick who we think is going to win the Royal Rumble. So we have tasked, or rather, I have tasked all of us to come up with 3 individuals on the men and the women's side who is going to win the Royal Rumble. And to make life easier, I'm going to pull up the roster for everyone because, Lord knows your boy does not remember half this stuff.
I do also have pulled up who has already said that they're going to be wrestling, which interesting thing on the men's side of things, just to point out, there's only 4 wrestlers from SmackDown currently confirmed
declared
for the Rumble
or
men's
whatever
Rumble,
yeah.
Really?
Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Jacob Fatu. They're the only 4 from SmackDown that have said that they're going to be in it so far.
Okay, so, I mean, looking at SmackDown, though, you'd have to assume Aleister Black's going to be in there, right? Probably going to see something like, Carmelo Hayes, US champion, in there. Damian Priest, right? Jacob Fatu, you said, is declared?
Yeah. I'm surprised Ilya hasn't yet.
Okay.
He'll probably be there. Miz will be there. Trick
will be
there.
All right. So that's SmackDown. Okay. Got a couple of choices here.
Yeah, and then we have Raw. It's like 12 people have already said they're going to be in it. So
notable exits though in this one. Finn Balor's not going to be in it. Ludwig Kaiser, don't know where he's been. So hopefully he shows up in that one. LA Knight announced he's going to be in it, or no?
No, he's not on the list.
Do we have a list of the Rumble? Do we have a list of who's in the Rumble? Could you send that to me?
So for men's right now, still remaining. Let me pull this up. Women's are on here as well. So again, SmackDown men's: Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Jacob Fatu. Once you're dealing with Raw, real quick: Gunther, Jey Uso, Rey Mysterio. Don't know about that right now. Dragon Lee, Penta, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Javon Evans, who is not injured, which is really, really good news because we thought he injured his shoulder last week and he didn't.
Okay.
Wait, did you say Gunther?
Yes, Gunther is going to be in the Rumble.
Even though he has a match separately.
Yes, because during that promo when AJ came out to confront him, he first said he's going to be in the Rumble, and then AJ came out to confront him, which ended up with the whole current match situation they're having at the Rumble. There's been nothing to say that Gunther technically got pulled out of the Rumble from that.
I would be willing to bet he is pulled from the Rumble.
I would too.
He said that first, but it's a possibility still.
He's on the list.
You never know. All right. So I've whipped up this high-tech Google document. All right. So, and I misspelled predictions. Did I misspell it? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't know why are you confusing me? You stupid autocorrect.
Because Google.
I know, right? Okay. So, we have men's, women's choices across the board. Let's start first, Matt.
Ooh. Are we picking one?
We could do one by one. We could do one man,
do one by
one man, one woman.
Okay.
All right.
For men's is really tough.
Again, men's
kind
is
of
tough.
It's a wide open field, and there's nobody where it feels like, yep, we're leaning that way. So I feel, and like one of my kind of go-to guesses would have been Sami Zayn before he won the tournament. I thought maybe this could be like a year for him, even if he didn't win the world title, but it'd be like he'd have his big underdog story this year at Mania, maybe. But I'm gonna go Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker.
It could be a Braun breakout moment, if you will.
All right.
At the Rumble for him. So that'll be my first male guess.
Braun Breaker.
Are we doing 2? Are we doing 3?
Go for what do you mean?
Yeah,
how many guesses in
total
each?
We're doing 3 guesses. So 3 choices. So do you want to do one by one, or do you want to do all at once?
Sure. No, we can go one by one.
Okay, cool.
So and then
for women's.
Women, I don't know, man. Like it feels. Women's
is tough, man.
Women's is tough. It's
Man, there's
like,
a lot more women. There's 17 so far that are going to be in.
Oh, did you send me that
yeah,
list, by the way?
I'll just say Bianca.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It
Bianca?
just because yeah, and I
Big
don't,
return.
You're
yeah.
not. Your heart's not in it. It's. You have 3 more. You have to.
2 more, I know,
2
I know.
more.
I've got my final ones. I've got my
Okay.
final ones for both men and
All
women
right.
because I'm a genius. But yeah,
All right. All right. Sounds good. All right. Scan. You're up. Go pick your men's and then your women's.
For men's, just because of, you know, situations surrounding the Rumble, where it is, everything, I do think there's a real chance Roman Reigns wins the Rumble this year. As weird as that
Roman.
sounds, I think, just guaranteeing that he's immediately back in the title picture, guaranteeing that he's a main event player immediately just after having not been out for a while, and the kind of big spectacle winner that you would expect to come from a Saudi Rumble. I would say that I think
Yeah.
that I think he's very much in a position where he is going to be at least one of the final 4, and I wouldn't be surprised if he single-handedly throws all 4 members of the Vision out on this one.
That would be cool. Interesting.
And that,
Interesting.
and for women, it's like you said, this one's really, really tough. And I'm gonna kind of just go with what I hope and who I would like to see. At least in the final 3, put Chelsea Green up there. Put Chelsea
Hey.
Green up in that, final 3, final 4 situation. I think she'd be great. I think she could have a wonderful build going into Mania.
stole my one.
Did I? I'm sorry.
I mean, it's
sorry.
fine.
Okay,
You could pick.
yes,
We
but
can
I
double up.
agree.
It's fine. We don't have to all
Yeah.
have individual picks. We can double up.
Yes.
So
So those are my first 2.
okay. So Chelsea Green is in. All right. So Chelsea Green. Yeah. Those are 2 great choices. For sure. For me, my first one. I'm gonna keep this one quick. I'm gonna go with LA Knight. I think LA Knight could very well win the damn thing because I still believe that there is a possibility that we end up with a LA Knight CM Punk title match at Mania, which I think could be very compelling and very exciting because LA Knight and Punk have had some great jibber jabber back and forth, and I wouldn't see that being a bad thing. Do I think that's like a marquee Mania matchup? I'm not too sure. But hey, we'll see. I if anything, I think if with the recent events of Sammy, I wouldn't be shocked if the winner of this matchup isn't like the main event. I could see Sammy and Drew maybe being the main event. Who knows? Ooh, if they do that, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So LA Knight is the first pick for me that I will go for, and then for the women, man, like you guys, this one's a bit of a toughie. Looking at the list and who I think maybe is prime for it, I'm probably going to go with the pick that I think is more than likely going to win. My next 2 are probably going to be the ones I'm least likely. And this one is Liv Morgan. I think Liv Morgan is going to, we're very clearly getting this year of Liv type thing going on right now. And Liv wants to, Liv's like all over the place, and she's been, I don't know. I think they're very big on her, and I wouldn't see why not. I think it fits. I think it makes sense. So yeah, Liv Morgan. So I got LA Knight, Liv Morgan as my picks. All right, pick number 2. Who you got?
Well, go ahead on women. Go ahead. I'm gonna say Chelsea Green as well.
Okay, Chelsea Green for the women.
Yep. And then on the guys' side, I'm gonna go. I don't really think this, but I'm like, again, like there's just so many fun options. I'm gonna go Jacob Fatu.
I like that.
Fatu.
I think
what compels you in that direction, my friend?
just they threw him into this scene with Drew and Cody. Like they obviously ran with him a little bit last year. I thought it would go longer with like the US title reign and everything. But part of me at first was thinking, like a lot of people, like, oh, were they not as super thrilled with him? Like, not that they weren't happy, but it's like, oh, it was just a short title reign, and then he was off TV, and then it was like, are they kind of mixed on it? And I'm like, damn, I was really into him. And now I'm more and more thinking of like, it was one of those like, you get sent out of the audition early and they're like, we've seen all we need to see. And you
Yeah.
think it's bad, but it's just like you wowed them in the first 5 minutes. So I think like they've seen what they
need to
to
see.
see out of. So they're
Yeah.
just give the title to Solo, give him a little thing, we'll
Yeah.
cool you off, and then we'll heat you right back up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they
I
threw
agree
him
with
in
that.
with Cody, and like the stuff him and Cody did this past, like he is natural right there. So not saying this is the path to like a title win yet, but I mean this could be the jumping ship to the
I
main
saw it
event.
at Mania when he came
Yeah.
out, and that whole entrance and the way they did it, and his song and the fire and him, like he's got it. He's always had it. That was never a question. He just needed that platform to display it.
Yep.
And yeah, now that he's getting it, I don't think Jacob Fatu is a far-fetched pick at all. If anything, I could see a world where Jacob Fatu chucks Roman Reigns over the edge to win. Because I think that you want to establish your next, like, you know, your next icon, that's how you do it. So I don't know.
Yep.
That feels like it could be the possibility. Great picks there. So once again, revisiting, you got Braun Breaker, Jacob Fatu for the men, and you have Bianca Belair and Chelsea Green for the women. All right, Scan, your turn.
Kit Wilson, number 2. Now, I would say if they really want to pull the trigger on somebody to like what I think would be a great, fantastic surprise, have Ilya Dragunov win it, man.
Ooh.
I think, you know, him versus Punk would tear the freaking house down. Those two would tear into each other. I can see him really, you know, digging into this, you know, I've been injured. I've been a champion. I've been injured again. I've been a champion again. You know, no one lives and breathes this the way that he does.
Yeah.
And I really, really think that, you know, you can make a really compelling build into Mania with him being the challenger for the men. For the women's side, I'm kind of building something up here because I think there's an obvious winner, but I definitely think at the very least in the final 4, the final 3, Charlotte Flair is going to be there. I think Charlotte Flair will definitely make it into that final group for the women, possibly legitimately win the whole thing. But I think there's a story being set up in the women's Rumble right now specifically.
Okay, Charlotte Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Ilya Dragunov. Okay, got it written down. Damn. The Dragunov one is a left field pick. I will give you that one.
It is. I know.
But hell, that'd be fun. Charlotte Flair, though, yeah. I get so worried. It's like, we already did this, you know? Like, we did this already, and it didn't go well. So why would we do it again?
Because things are a lot different this time around, but that'll go into my next pick.
Oh, okay. Well, then I have a feeling I know where you're going, but I'll leave it there. All right. So, for me and my next pick, damn, I was hoping you were going to take a little bit longer, but you know, such is not to be. There's one thing that this guy hasn't done, and it would be really cool if he did it, because this is also where he debuted. And I think it'd be sick if AJ Styles won the Royal Rumble if he got put into it. That'd be the only, like, if the Gunther AJ match happens, if Gunther's in, and I'm running with this theory if Gunther's in, because like the thing is that like it's real easy to kind of just put Gunther and AJ in that situation. Damn, no, but then again though, it's like running a potential that he's not in it. And then that would kind of just be a waste. So
it could be if Gunther has declared, even though he's now wrestling a separate match. Can you imagine him where it'd be kind of fun if you wanted to prolong this thing?
Yeah.
AJ beats Gunther to keep his career. He's in the Rumble riding high. Gunther eliminates AJ to keep their thing going. Of like, I'm going to spend the next year making your final run a living hell.
That actually could be the case there. And I was going to say, because the name that popped into my head originally was Gunther. but we were like arguing about like if he was going to be in the match or not. But I do think that like it's just like an easy one for Gunther and Punk to just run it back, because they did it once, right? When I think Gunther was champion, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Have Gunther and Punk face each other actually?
I
I'm not
mean,
sure.
Punk won the belt from Gunther.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Why am I'm drawing a blank on that? So
and
sorry.
then lost it immediately in the cash-in.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
SummerSlam.
So that's why I think like, could Gunther maybe want to get that, win back, right? And get his belt back. I think could be a bad idea. So I'm gonna go with Gunther. I initially AJ, but I don't see it happening. It would be sick, but I don't see it happening. And then for the women's side of it, damn. Yeah, really.
Just
Tiffany
stop.
Stratton.
Move your finger around and stop on a face.
No, I was gonna say Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton is like a genuine one, just because like she kind of had the not the greatest title run, right? And there's a possibility like she could win and maybe fight like Stephanie Vaquer, and like have something like that. I think could be very fun. Going after a different belt, I don't know. That would be that'd be the only one. I had to go with that. All right, last one. Last round. Matt, you have 2 choices left. Who you got?
All right. I'll start with the women. I'm gonna take it. No, I don't think it's a left swing, but I think it's a unique one. Screw it. Talk about somebody the one thing they haven't done. Natty, the new, improved, dangerous fighter side of Natty Neidhart.
Yeah.
I don't
like
know
that.
if they're gonna fully run with this or just kind of let her have a little like, hey, have a run with this persona, you've kind of developed on the indies and Bloodsport and all that stuff. Or if they're gonna go, yeah, and it's the one thing she hasn't done, and it puts her back on like the serious scene.
I like that. That's a cool one.
You have to imagine are her probably last couple of years. I'm not saying like super, super soon, but she's not wrestling another 10 years, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then on the guys, it's Saudi Arabia, it's money, it's eyeballs, it's like make businessman happy, it's capitalism with a capital C, which means we're gonna get a winner with a capital L and a capital P. Crypto, bro.
Oh no,
Logan Paul.
Oh,
I just want it.
Threw up in my mouth.
Like it. I'm just making a swing because Scan already took my joke, even though he didn't make it. I was gonna pick Kit Wilson as a wild card, but Kit Wilson, I will have a moment, a big moment in the Rumble. Even if it's like a Kit Wilson over the rope and he just keeps walking out like his music plays the whole time.
Yeah,
give me something like that. But
yeah, I mean, there is going to be something funny with him for sure. That is going to be pretty. I can't wait. All right. I had to write it down. I hate that you made me write it down. I had to throw up in my mouth. All right, Scan, your turn. Scan, your turn.
For the women's Rumble, I mean, you probably can already tell this. I think Alexa Bliss is winning the Rumble, flat out. I think Alexa Bliss is 100% winning the Rumble this year. And to me,
you're right.
The story there then becomes, how does the new Charlotte Flair react to that? Is she going to keep being the best friend and keep on supporting Alexa Bliss through Mania season and could even possibly be the reason Alexa wins the title at Mania? Or is her old jealousy and her desire to be the champion going to start bubbling to the surface and affect their relationship? Yeah. That's what I would like to see going into Rumble.
That's a good story.
On the women's side. I like that a lot. And for the men, because he is declared for the frickin' Rumble, give it to Oba Femi. Do it. Give it to Oba.
I forgot about that.
Do it. He is officially declared for the Rumble. If you want to have the biggest shock factor there has arguably been in Royal Rumble and Mania season history, this man is already built for this. He is built for it. He could be a Mania main eventer day one, and I completely believe it.
Yeah.
I want him to win this so badly. He's not going to.
Yeah.
He's not. But God, I want Obafemi to win the Rumble. He's my favorite right now, dude.
I love all of that. I'm into all of that. I actually believe Obafemi is a realistic choice to win.
I totally forgot about that.
I think he's Final Four.
That is very
legitimately Final Four.
Yeah, he could be Final Four.
Yeah,
I think he could be Final Four. Yeah, 100% Final Four. If anything, I think the Final Four will probably end up being like Gunther, Oba, Roman, and like, I don't know, Jacob Fatu. And damn, that's crazy. You got a lot of names that can
prepare yourself for a Brock appearance too.
Oh, definitely.
So that was going to be my third pick.
Shoot. Okay.
Because I wanted to troll, but I know that WWE just really, really likes to troll. And they could. I was going to go with a Cody number 3, because I thought that would just be really funny.
That'd be crazy.
But no. It would be actual diabolical business if they did Cody 3 like that. That'd be absurd. But I think it's gonna be Brock Lesnar. I'm making that my third pick. I can see them doing it, and it's Saudi Arabia, and it's Saudi Arabia, and you get Punk versus Brock Lesnar for the world title.
And considering all Paul Heyman guy BS from years ago and everything, there is a story there.
There's a story there. They fought for the title at Mania before. So, this is not Mania.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yes.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's something there.
Yep.
For the women, you kind of took the one because I was just trolling. I think the only other person who wins is Liv Morgan. It's either Liv Morgan or it's Alexa Bliss. So I'm going with Alexa Bliss because I really do genuinely feel like it's one of them. Like it feels.
That's a good story too. The Charlotte thing is a good complex story you can tell about their relationship.
Yeah. But also
especially if it's a slow burn.
Alexa Bliss is just so freaking over. She's so popular.
People just like her.
Everyone loves Alexa Bliss.
I mean, she had the biggest pop at last year's Rumble.
Yeah.
Out of anyone. When she returned, that pop was like 2 times bigger than anything else. People adore her.
She came back. She was in one of the better stories for, the women's division across all the shows. Tag team champion, great run with the belts, good story with Charlotte. It just feels like it all fits. The question is, who would she go for in that instance? And I think she would probably go for like Jade Cargill, but I have a feeling something's going to happen with those titles for Stephanie and for Jade. Who knows what happens, but I don't think I don't think Liv is going to fight Stephanie or Jade. I don't think she's going to fight either one of those for the title. It's going to be someone else who wins the championship from here to there. I just don't know who. So there you have it, folks. Let's run through the list again one more time. We got, for Matt, Braun Breaker, Jacob Fatu, and Logan Paul. Of those 3, who's the one you believe in the most?
Braun Breaker.
Of the women, you have Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, Natalya. Who do you believe in the most?
Say Chelsea
Green.
Yeah. Chelsea Green. Let's go, baby. All right. Scan, Roman, Ilya, Obafemi. Who do you believe in the most?
I believe in Obafemi the most. Is who I believe in the most.
Commit to Obafemi. Say with your chest. I like that choice. I thought it was a good one. And for the women,
Alexa Bliss. It's gonna be her.
Alexa Bliss. Okay. Yeah. And for me, I am going to stick by it being Gunther. I think that they're gonna have Gunther win the Royal Rumble. And I think Liv Morgan's going to win for the women. I'm sticking by Liv Morgan.
Okay.
So Gunther and Liv Morgan. Not the sexiest picks, but I see it happening. So there you have it, folks. Let us know who you think is going to win the Royal Rumble in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you. It brings us to the final segment of this illustrious program, the Rebooked 24/7 Champion of the Week. And we've been going for a minute, so let's go ahead and make this one quick.
Let's make.
I'm gonna start mine real fast. This book just came out, and I think everyone needs to pick it up. It is from the young writer known as Bernard Sanders. It is called Fight Oligarchy. It is an excellent, excellent book considering the things that are going on in the world today. This book is amazing. It literally details everything of what is going on. It is a quick read. It's no more than what I'm looking at it right now, 140 pages. It is a quick read, but it is so informative. It tells you exactly what's going on, how the billionaires are continuing to abuse power, how, things got to where it is, and what we can do to stop it. It is a really, really good book, and Bernie Sanders is the man. So that is my choice. All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go really quick. If you want to bring up the picture, you can, GB. It's in our writer's room. It's from Jacoby Bennett. It's from yesterday at 10:46 p.m. Not only Jake, just because we miss him and we love him, but because he tried to be a real cheesehead, even though he's from Alabama, and he wore his cheesehead hat out. It was cold in Alabama yesterday, so he went outside shirtless like a true Green Bay Packers fan.
Oh.
And so kudos to him living in California and Alabama for giving that one a go.
What
So
that's
to you, Jake.
How does one end up a Packers fan being from Alabama and then you go to California? You know what? Hey, man.
He's told that story. I know he has.
He probably has, and I'm probably forgetting it, and that makes me a terrible friend. But of course, Jake will be back with us next week. Shout out to the Cheesehead. Scan, what about you? What's your Rebooked 24/7 champion?
Real quick, we've already talked about him a little bit on the show, but I'm going to talk about him for an entirely different reason. Kenny Omega is living his best life right now because the man is literally Alex in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
He's literally the motion capture for his main character in Street Fighter, which as a rabid fighting game player, I can't imagine anything in the world feeling cooler than that, than having, he literally had with Alex now, you can do the whole sequence of Snapdragon Suplex to Bang Taunt to V Trigger to One Winged Angel as one super attack
in the game
with Alex now in the game.
Oh, yes. That's so cool.
He has the legitimate One Winged Angel complete with a black wing very quickly popping out behind Alex's back. That's when he sets up the move. So somehow we got a Final Fantasy VII reference in Street Fighter before Tekken, which seems impossible to me.
That's actually nuts. That's really cool. That's really cool.
It's really cool. And, that's going to be my main character moving forward. And I got to wait 2 freaking months until he comes out, but it's going to be awesome.
And there is, I think because of the circumstances of this week, and, given the nature and everything that's happened this weekend, it's always hard to pick. But I think the one winner that we're going to all unanimously nominate is, of course, this weekend, an ICU nurse was tragically murdered. And Alex Preddy was truly the man who represents what being an American is all about. And he was an amazing soul who clearly gave his life not just for himself, but for others, even until his final moment. So, there's a lot of fun stuff, but I think, in the honor of this show and in the spirit of the show and us, doing our silly little honor for people who we appreciate, I think they want to go ahead and nominate Alex Preddy as our 24/7 champ.
Absolutely.
Rest in peace, friend, and you're a hero. So, folks, that is going to do it for us. We thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry to end on a little bit of a somber note there, but I think, in these times, it's important to kind of stay grounded and stay focused on, what's going on and keeping connected to your community and to the world around you. So, we thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you each and every week supporting the show and what we do. And we hope to continue to provide you just a little bit of light throughout the week. So thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. And let us know in the comments down below what you thought of all the things we yapped about this week. We'd love to hear from you.
Who's going to win the Rumble?
Who's going to win the Rumble?
Yep.
Let us know.
Type it.
Bye, everyone. Take care. Peace.